Hey guys, what's going on? 12/18/2011, Sunday. I want to do a video about psychological operations in the media today. And I'm not really talking about mainstream media, I'm talking about alternative media. I mean, the mainstream media has been dead for a long time. There's nothing valid that you can pull out of that. Yeah, a little snippet here or there, but 99% of it is just garbage. But I want to talk about today about the alternative media because in the last couple of months I've noticed that the alternative media continues to get more untrue, more false, and more full of absolute manure. Some of the stuff that's being published today is absolute garbage. I mean, it is garbage. I mean, it's just an outright lie. So I want to go over this, and there's quite a few things that I want to talk about. So this video might be done in a couple of parts, and I might publish it on separate days. But first of all, we got to analyze. Okay. The Illuminati, especially the top rank of the Illuminati. Top rank of the Illuminati is a group called Magic 12. Okay, it's 12 individuals. They are sorcerers, they are evil, and they are very adept and very good at manipulating circumstances, manipulating information, and getting into your brain to make you think things that are not true, that are not accurate, and that get you off your normal base, your energy base. That's their job. That's what they do, and they've been doing it for the last 13,000 years. So they're very good at it. Now let me say this. If you're going to disrupt someone or you're going to disinform someone, it's very important that you don't lie to them all the time, because then you're going to blow your cover, they're going to know what you're up to, and you're going to be exposed. So let's look at a modern liar that everybody can agree on that this individual is a liar and no one believes this person. O.J. Simpson. Who believes O.J. Simpson? Nobody, because he lies. Too much. So it's non-effective information. It's not disinformation. Everybody knows he's a liar and they call him out for that. Now, proper disinformation with the right amount of truth and the right amount of lies is very disruptive. And where do we find that most prevalent today and in past decades and centuries? Where do we find that? Religion. Organized religion. Very craftily devised to mix truth with lies to knock you off of your base and allow you to do things in a clouded mental frame. Look at how many wars have been fought over religion. Look how fanatical people get over religion. People get nuts over religion. Therefore, very effective propaganda, very effective manipulation. So when you look through these things, you have to analyze very precisely. And you got to look at things for what they are. And you have to use a lot of logic. And the fortunate thing these days is that the disinformation, mixing lies and truths, is getting very, very thin. And it's becoming almost all lies now. So I interpret that as that the Illuminati is getting very desperate because they're averting to very desperate tactics because there's a lot of lies in this alternative media today. It's terrible. I mean, it's thick. It's so thick that you can't even cut it with the knife. You can't even get the knife in the material. It's so thick. And I mean, I have a very limited base of the people that I listen to these days. I mean, there's literally a handful of people. Webbot, Ben Fulford, Bix Weir. I think that Bob Chapman probably gets honorable mention. I listen to him. But other than that, there's just a lot of garbage. There's a lot of garbage out there. You know, Max Kaiser's good, but you know, Max Kaiser, what you can sum him up in 2 words: buy silver, buy gold. I mean, that's what the message is. You know, Bix Weir's a little bit more detailed. You know, you ask Bix Weir, hey, who caused the Lehman collapse in 2008? You know what his answer is going to be? China. And that's the truth. That's how it breaks down. So literally, it's that pool of just a few people. And I'm going to go over some of the things, and after I finish describing it, you're going to understand the point that I'm trying to make. Another thing that I want to say is that it's very important to look on alternative media today and notice who the originators of material are. Are there people that are originating material, actually coming up with theories on their own, backing up these theories with information, coming out with original thoughts and original ideas, like a Jimi Hendrix? Or are they regurgitating things, just copying and pasting other articles that other people are writing, which I call regurgitators, resuscitators, copy and pasters? Those are the P. Diddy types. You see the difference between the Jimi Hendrix and the P. Diddy? So that's one of the things that I want to bring up right now, is that's one of the telltale signs for people that don't really know what they're talking about. I mean, look at the webbot. Is he a regurgitator or is he an originator? He's an originator. Oh yeah. What about Ben Fulford? Damn right, he's a fucking originator. You know, Big Swear's an originator. You know, Big Swear's been saying for a long time about the markets and how China or the United States or this country could push the market wherever they want it to go, but they don't push it for certain reasons. So yeah, you know, that's really what I'm getting at today. And the first topic that I really want to get into is this detention camp, FEMA, exaggeration, exploitation, outright lie, and just disastrous filth. It's what it is. First of all, I am shocked. I am shocked at the amount of people who post that FEMA camps are open. FEMA camps are open for business, and they don't stand up to that in any way, shape, or form. They don't even put any notation down after posting this information. FEMA camps are open, that they're not going to put up with it. Well, you know what I say, and my first reaction to these damn FEMA camps is, fucking hell no. Hell fucking no. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I've done nothing wrong. I am a sovereign individual. I have my own energy source, and I am a human being. And I'll be goddamn if you think you can come up to me and throw me in any motherfucking camp. You know, where have the men gone? Where have the men gone? Where have the people that stand up to this and say, hell fucking no? Hell fucking no, you're out of control, you fucking Nazis, and I'm drawing the line, and I will not allow it to happen. Where are any of those motherfucking people? Do they exist anymore? I mean, I'm presuming that if you're posting on your site, oh, FEMA camps are open for business, that you're endorsing that, because there's nothing at the bottom saying, yeah, fuck you, FEMA camps. Nothing. Absolutely effing nothing. So get some sack, guys. I mean, be a fucking man. And I'm not talking about being a bully. I'm not talking about being some freaking thug or something like that. What I'm saying is that be a man. Mean what you say what you mean, be assertive, assert your individuality and your sovereignty and say, hell fucking no, and draw the motherfucking line. Be a fucking man. I mean, if there were more people out there that stood up, do you think the Illuminati would be able to get away with some of the shit they get away with? No, they get away with it because people don't assert themselves. The pen is mightier than the sword. Talk, communicate, put your ideas out there. And then they can't touch you. They can't touch you. Now, another point that I want to talk about is that, look, it's mathematically impossible for the government or any organization to throw Americans in FEMA camps, okay? It is mathematically impossible for every one person that they theoretically are going to throw into these fucking FEMA camps. You need 4 or 5 or 6 or however many people that are soldiers, law enforcement officials, and people that are on the payroll, okay? So if you take that ratio and you take the amount of people in this country, 330 million, and you figure out how many troops or how many individuals would be needed to throw all those people in the FEMA camps, it is mathematically impossible. There are not enough troops in the United States. There are not enough troops and law enforcement in NATO. There are not enough troops or military personnel in the whole world. It is mathematically impossible. And you know, Webbot Cliff High said exactly the same thing on one of his radio broadcasts about a year ago. He said it's mathematically impossible. So it's not going to happen. Number 3, If you look at the video from detention camps, these quote-unquote FEMA camps, you'll notice the shoddy and poor construction. The fences are not tied in at the bottom. There's very little razor wire on the top. There's a video that actually was being circulated where a guy, got into one of these camps and videotaped the inside of the building, and it was just a cored out shell. It was just a shell. It looks like a construction crew went in and demoed it, and they just left the outside shell. The fences could be easily broken into. There was very little razor wire. So what is it really? It's a facade. It's a facade. They're trying to get into your mind. They're trying to get into your brain. Let me put it this way. If you think that I can kick your ass, then I don't need to kick your ass. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Propaganda, Nazi propaganda, it doesn't exist. Because if you look at a standard prison and how they are built with the 5-foot thick concrete walls, with iron bars that are 3 inches thick, with razor wire for frickin' 300 yards, with 25-foot concrete walls, with fence lines that are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 layers deep, okay? That's what you need to keep people in. That's what you need. Because if it wasn't necessary, then prisons wouldn't be built in the way they're built. Prisons cost huge amounts of money to build. These FEMA camps are not built to the specifications and to the level of a modern day prison. Therefore, they couldn't hold anybody if they wanted to. Logic. Let's look at it logically. Let's analyze it. Another point that I want to bring up is that there's a lot of disgruntled soldiers, there's a lot of disgruntled cops, there's a lot of disgruntled law enforcement officials these days. There's a lot of turmoil behind the scenes because the word is getting around and guys are having to analyze what they've been asked to do lately, and there's a lot of stress coming off of that issue. There's a lot of cops and military guys that are just not going along with the program, or at bare minimum they're questioning it openly. There was a guy on MSNBC that was a cop that was part of throwing out Occupy Los Angeles, and he got on mainstream media and said, look, I don't feel comfortable with this anymore. I don't like what I'm doing anymore. There was another cop, a Philly captain, I think, who was down at Occupy Wall Street. He got arrested because he didn't want to obey his commander's orders. So yeah, there's a lot of people behind the scenes, and you've got to understand, these cops and soldiers and law enforcement, man, they're human beings too. I know they act like robots. I know they're knuckleheads. I know that they're, some of them can get very brutal and very hell-bent, but, at the end of the day and collectively, they're human beings. They're emotional. They're susceptible to the same things that we are. And what I'm saying is that command, do what I say, follow orders regimen in their ranks is starting to break down. So how are you going to do the FEMA camps if you ain't got anybody to fucking throw them in the camps? There was a guy about 1.5 years ago that I listened to said, you know what? And I don't recall exactly who it was. He said, you know what? He says, one day this effing government is going to announce a war or declare a war. And you know what? Nobody is going to show up. No soldiers, no reinforcement, no people with guns, no people with fuel or tanks, no Air Force, no Navy, no nobody. They're just not going to show up. And then it's over. You can't do these things unless you have the garrisons of people that want to do them. And that's breaking down. Also, a couple of very important things that happened recently. There was a 1099 bill that was introduced for precious metal purchases. It was enacted into law, and you know what happened? The funny thing is, it got repealed. A week or two before it was supposed to go into effect, it got repealed. So if they can't enact a 1099 precious metals bill, how in the fuck are they going to fucking put people in FEMA camps? Oil and water doesn't go together. Logic doesn't work. Another thing, there was a California ammo bill that was going to require people to thumbprint for ammunition. That got voted into law. What happened a week, 2, a month before it actually went into effect? That got repealed also. So there's 2 instances right here. They can't get the precious metal bills passed. They can't get the California thumb bill for ammunition law passed and enacted, and you think they're going to put people in FEMA camps? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. In addition to everything else that I've brought up, you know? So let's look at it logically, and let's come to the understanding that these FEMA camps are a bunch of disinformation, it's a bunch of lies, and it's made to distort your thinking and to knock you off of your base. So yeah, just be aware of that. This is part one. I probably got about 3 more parts that I'm going to do because there's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about. So that's enough for this segment. So again, stay tuned for the next segments that I'm going to post, maybe today, maybe the next couple days. And again, guys, thanks for listening. Don't buy the lie. Don't buy the PsyOp. All right? Thanks.